Oh, here's the project manager. Hi. And I'm here. So, yeah, I threw a stream, but I actually don't know what I'm going to be doing right there. Definitely have a few things to do without much direction required. Like it's fine because there's this whole upgrade thing which can be made in a more cleaned up way, I could say, and there's definitely some things to add to the upgrades. Yeah, maybe eventually think about this new button here. By the way, I don't know if you have things you wanted to push, because you talked about potential conflicts and stuff, but I don't think you've published anything since then, so... Could be watching this button thing, but yeah. These animation tracks, they are nightmares. I'm not sure how we're supposed to approach this. For example, this button press sound, not necessary. Correct button. Are you animating this button from somewhere? Like here, for example? Yeah. So I'm just gonna move this to the button itself. Yeah. Are we using this visible equal false here? Because we probably just make it invisible, so I think that's... I think this entire script is maybe useless. So that we can remove the script and attach the animated button script. Like, what is this script anyway? Collegbutton.gd. I'm gonna check that I didn't break anything. There are things to do on stream specifically. This is important. But yeah, oh yeah, I'm gonna bring this back. Materials inventory is done. You wanna see? Then I'll show you. Are you saying that you didn't follow during yesterday's stream? That you were like sleeping? I mean, I don't know when I did that. Wait. Anyway, it's here. That's just the third one. You were late? Yeah, no, I think actually that was the day before that. That was before yesterday. Because yesterday there was the merge conflict. Let's see. Yeah. Oh no. Resource inventory and animation upgrade. Okay, that was done at there. My bad. Never mind. Never mind. So this button is slightly fixed. Like slightly. But what do we do about it? Like we reset, right? No, background. Up. So I don't know how this things was updated the last time. Because right there we have collect button in center container 2. Alright. Now let's say that we create the horizontal box. And that we move this guy. The parent. Okay, here it did update. The path updated. There's a frame? What is the frame doing? Is it when you click on it? Or is it something we can delete? The theme override. Is it Green Nordic? Almost. Oh, okay, I think I see what the background does. Like, yeah. They are useful. It's for gradient. Okay. And this animation player? Yeah. So I technically spin. Huh. Oh, right. I see what it does. So thing is that probably if I do rename the node, it breaks. I think that's the difference. Like, when you rename it, it breaks everything, but if you move it, that's fine. Yeah. Yes, exactly my thought here. I have to recreate this, but on the other one. So the uploader says you are wonderful. Well, thank you. In what sense though? You will leave instruction in case I don't have any other tasks. I don't know what you want to do for the combat system. I know how to make like the classic idle game combat, but I'm not sure that it will fit. You love my videos and personality? Well, that's great then, thank you. I think it's rotation. Oh no. Did I? Yikes. So, what are the keys, the values, and what do they do? I kinda broke it. Oh, and I picked the wrong one. How long is it supposed to take? Like, is it supposed to be 1 second? And this is the default, right? So here. Okay, we have spin. So this, for example, this should be a component. What am I doing? Yeah, button frame, that's gonna be fine. Alright, so here, add shy node, instantiate shy node. And there we go. The thing is that, yeah, some of the code of this button is split. Oh, and we probably have to add this to the animation here. Like everything that goes here, I have to duplicate. So, little button, modulate. Oh. Why? Because there's two buttons. I mean, right now, if we start this, despite the fact that everything's broken, right? Wow, isn't it beautiful? So I think I'm not in the mood right now for this kind of thing. And I see what you added on Discord. Oh, nothing. Alright, so let's talk combat then. Well, I have a thing I want to do with upgrades first. Oh yes, there's the count, but I need the UI. So that's for you. Upgrades. I'm gonna say that's a 2. And it is add a requirement system, sort of. And you're saying combat. Alright, so let's see upgrade. I kind of see this probably as an array requirements, an array of enum. So that would mean here we add an empty one, and here we add just like unlock tier 1 level 2. Now let's see what I can do with that. Probably in purchase, right? We can do something like for a requirement, which is an enum in requirements. If game ref data upgrades requirements. If we don't have it, in fact, that's an error. Returned. So I don't know, this has to be tested, but should be fine. I actually need currency to test this. Oh, I could be like changing the values. Like these are super cheap now. Godot. Oof. Okay, let's start the game. And see what happens. So we have no updates, right? So we can sell this. And if I go unlock the tier 1 level 3, it doesn't work. But I can buy the tier 1 level 2. Yup. And then I should be able now not to do anything with this and buy the second one. So yeah, they work fine. That's cool. Very glad about this. Okay, so maybe I was a little bit mean on those values. So what do I want to do? Oh yeah, save. So this is gonna be upgrade, add a requirements. Let's go. What am I looking for? Godot. Make a combat system. Wow, that's a big one. That's a big one. Let me think. Yeah. How do we name this exactly? Is this like, I mean, the category in the game, like, is this going to be combat? Is this going to be exploration? We could use combat as a development name and rename this however we want. That's fine. Combat, I guess. Well, combat, you guess. More logical. Depends. I can see a world where exploration would work. I mean, there was laboratory in my Crystal game, so... So this could be static variable ref to make something a little bit different. Okay, so we have quite a lot of things to do. We have to make a state machine, and you've added a few things. Cool. Battle mode. We will need some enemies that will have stats like name, HP, damage, and resource they drop on death. Weighted systems for attack turns. Okay, so this point number 2 can be elaborated. Well, usually, I mean, reading number 3, when player's HP goes under 0, he returns, and at the moment you don't have any idea how player will recover health again. You can use the system like in Magic Research, I think. In Magic Research, what happens is that you have a passive of health regeneration, and that's it, right? When your HP goes to 0, you leave exploration. Well, in fact, what it does is that it just cancels the combat you are currently in, and then you start it over again, which means that you are starting with very few HP. No, I don't remember exactly how it works. The thing is that, yeah, there's a natural HP regen, and when you have HP 0, you just go back home, and you can... Oh yes, it waits for the health to be full again, and then it sends you back in automatically. That's what it does, probably. But then you can use the potions and the spells to heal. Right, so singleton combat. So maybe we should have a... Because here we have the combat singleton, and maybe we could have the player things somewhere else with the health and stuff. Or we could have everything in there. Right, so let's create an abstract script. Abstract script. Okay, what do we have? Oh, right, do we do this with the node? Or do we do this without a node? You added a fourth instruction line. Oh, you want a log, like in Crystal Factory? Yes, that's doable. All right. I don't know. So, head is with the nodes, tails is without the nodes. So we do it with the nodes. Interesting. Do you have a game design document or plan for the game written out? No, we don't. That's kind of the crazy thing. Well, we have sort of, but we don't have a clear one. We have this good, if that makes sense. Right, so just a quick question. Do you actually do you guys want me to explain fully how I'm working on this, how I make a state machine? Because that's the kind of thing people want to learn. So maybe I could do this wait a second. I could do this in a tutorial way. So oh no, almost. Make a video if you don't have one. I have videos about state machine, but not about this way specifically. I mean, it's complicated. State machine is something you can explain like 10 times and people will still be asking questions. Okay, so first, let's see. The first thing you want to make when you have a state machine. First thing is, I actually like having tasks. Number one, you want to create an abstract for the states. And when you create this abstract, you want three things generally. You want to add and you need to have an enter state method. You need to have an exit state method. And sometimes you kind of want a process method. But here, since we're using Godot, it's kind of already right there. So we don't necessarily have to make this, right? We will just use it when we do need it, otherwise we don't have to create it because it already exists. However, there is one thing we can add, which is this variable context. And this is kind of specific. So you want to create a context reference. And to make this the clearer I can, we have the combat script here, which is going to be kind of the state manager. Yeah, that's it. That's the state manager. You want the context to be a reference to the state manager, so that states can communicate back to the state manager. So here it's going to be a combat class, because that's what we have. So because we have Godot here, the way we use context can be slightly different. Usually you have the state manager send context through every method, but here, because it is a node and not just a class, we can do that here because there's this kind of instantiation before the state is used. So anyway, we will have the context. So that's the first thing. You create an abstract for the state. Well, I'm not gonna cross those, but yeah. Once you have your abstract, let's go to the state manager. So yeah, there are a few ways. I mean, there's no right order to do that. I'm gonna create a default state, which is the kind of idle state or reset state, this kind of thing, like the state it begins with. You're gonna do that. So here you create a new script inheriting the abstract. We'll do this. New script, which is going to be idle state. Actually, state idle. Yeah, state idle. Okay, with error. Be gone. So right there, combat state idle extends combat state. Alright, so we have three things. We have enter state, exit state, and context available. So let's have an example here. You do again use enter state, and you say, for example, print entering idle state. And here, exit state exiting idle state. So from there we have two things to consider. Either we inherit the components of enter state from the abstract by using the super, which says run the instructions of enter state in the class above it. Or you can just say I'm gonna again set process to false here. You can rewrite it, like that's totally up to you. I usually, super's fine here. Anyway, so we have the default state. just make sure inherit behaviors from the abstract for enter and exit states. That's important. Okay, let's see. 3. Create the state manager. Yeah, that could be number 1, but so we're gonna add the default state to the state manager. So in combat here, we just go something like state idle, and it is very important type it based on the abstract and not on the abstract, and I'll put it in bold. All right, that is very important because this is why we created an abstract in the first place. So it's a combat state. Then we create a node which has the script attached to it. So here we have idle. Well, that's node state. Let's go with idle state. And we add the script. All right. So we can go with something like when we enter the tree now, we can say that state idle. Actually, I will. Nah, that's public. State idle is going to be equal to. Huh, interesting. Oh wait, where am I? Yes, enter tree. So why is this? Okay, it's slightly bugged, but it's fine. And you grab the reference to the idle state node. So someone's asking which makes more sense, gdscript or C# coding, and why? They are both good, I guess. I didn't try C# on Godot. I used it on Unity, but not on Godot. And honestly, gdscript is plenty enough. Well, the thing is that gdscript is tailored for the engine. So you will have access to a very few things which are useful, like the $sign. That is something you have access to with gdscript. Other than that, it's just a very good scripting language. C#, however, might be a little bit more complicated to use and set up, but you may have a little bit more control on how you manage your resources. Because on Godot, basically, when you create a variable, like let's say here I'm creating a number, I'm very limited with the choice of types. And most of the time, basically what Godot does is that it makes it easy for you, but you don't have the extra length to control the types and everything. So you can't really optimize as much as you could with C#. But you will never have the ability to get a C++, for example, for even better optimization, but that's fine. And yes, 99% of Godot guides are gdscript. But C# really is, if you do like C#, you can use it, you can try it. At first, when I was using C# before, and then I had to start with gdscript, and that was very difficult. And gdscript felt very messy and very bad. But now that I'm used to it and I understand it better, I like it very much. So some people say that if you develop game in Godot using C#, performance will be better than the game using gdscript. That's pretty much what I was saying right now. It's possible, but it's not necessary, because you can make it worse, technically. Do you have the knowledge to actually optimize resources? And if that is the case, then it will. Then C#, in a sense, it is forcing you to code in a way that is more efficient, while gdscript allows you to do whatever you want. That's a fact. There's another fact, which is that you can use gdscript without typing, and you can use gdscript with typing. And when you use typing, you already gain a lot of performance, which is probably the gap people are talking about. So, no, it gives you instrument to optimize, not a code to optimize your game. Well, technically it gives you instrument, yes. It's probably not better than instrument, because one thing, for example, in Godot, all the arrays, they have unlimited size. While in C# you can begin to say, okay, this array will have a size 3, and it knows exactly the size in the memory. While gdscript will have to guess. But yeah. I mean, yeah, I think it's a question of C# forces you to make some of those performance actions early on, while gdscript allows you to be very, very messy. So I was grabbing a reference to the idle state, yeah, and I was saying that it is very important to keep this abstract and grab it early on. Alright, so we have the first state. So now we're going to create a function which is change states. And this will take a state as an argument. A combat state. And Darian's here. Hi Darian, how are you doing? So, when you want to change the state, basically we want to use the methods we have created in the abstract, right? Things to do before exiting and things to do after entering. So right here, you get your state, you use the exit state method. And here we have a problem, which is, what is the state exactly, right? We want after that to have state dot anti-state, but what is the previous state? I forgot about this. I was talking and I forgot about that. So anyway, here's this. You have the list of states, but you have the active state, right? So you have the current state, which is a combat state. So here, you want to exit the current state. You want to change the state. Current state is going to be the new state. And then you want to apply the enter state on that. How's the job going? Well, it is. It's fine. Right now we are doing a combat system and I'm taking the opportunity to talk about how to implement state machines. So here, for example, when the node gets ready... Oh, wait a second. I'm doing this in enter tree, but it doesn't work. So it's going to be already. Yeah, let's go with that. It's onReady. Variable state idle. It's going to be equal to idle state. So already what we want is to have the current state equal to the state idle. And we want state idle, well not really, no, current state, not change, current, enter tree, enter state. Okay. Already, let's see. For create a current state property, type is based on the abstract, again, important. And you initialize this state to idle state or default state when, well, initialize is fine. How long have you been using Godot? 1 year. The number 5 is, and when I say 1 year, I mean that I started in February, something like this, and I created my first video the 1st of March. So the 5th task is to create a change state method. So takes a state as an argument, apply exit state, well, invoke exit state from the old state or the current state, switches the state, and invoke enter state from the new state. And that's pretty much it. So now it's just a question of moving from one state to another and creating new states, right? So we have the idle, and then we will have the combat. That's massive progress for 1 year. You're coding very efficiently. Well, I was a professional programmer before. I've worked in the web industry, which is very different. And I've also played a little bit with Unity before. And by using Unity, I've learned a little bit about how to make games with the game object system, which is very close to the node system, and C# as well. He has worked in several programs. Oh, you mean languages? Yeah. Well, I've done a lot of languages. I've done Python, Java, C#, JS, TypeScript. Even though JS and TypeScript is the same thing, basically, but... Okay, so now that we have this change state method, I'm gonna go with one layer of complexity on top of that, which is going to be creating a can switch to. Alright, and this is kind of specific. Can I do this here? I think so. Yeah. This will be returning a boolean. And we will check if we can switch to another state or not. So you say, I'm a digital game design student and I want to make games using Godot. Any advice for me? Yep. Based on type of game, you will have to find different kind of content. So if you want to make a... If you want to make idle games, clicker games, you will find tons of information about this on my channel, which are meant for beginners. So that's one thing. If you want to make a 2D platformer, that's very specific. You have Bracky's tutorial that is probably okay, I guess. It takes things from the start, and yeah, that's a good one. But what I suggest you to do basically is find a tutorial which is like a guided tutorial for an entire project, or at least some features, right? You don't want to be fetching individual tutorials which are scattered all around, because it might be a little bit complicated. Kind of a follow along tutorial. That's what you want first. And then once you will be more confident, you will be able to, yeah, do projects. Like, for example, let's Godot here. That's the amount of projects I have here, and I think I've cleared my Godot list once or twice already. Maybe I say once. Yes, I have changed. I mean cleared the list once. And yeah, I had my Unity project before and stuff. So yeah, it is hundreds of projects. Some may last only a few days or just a few hours, right? But it's about it was gonna return true. And okay, so this function should say, can we switch to a specific state or not? We'll try to see that. So let's see. State idle. Oh wait, that's supposed to be in the abstract. Alright. So here in idle, well, we'll do that when we have more states running. So if current state can switch to state, well, let's make the opposite. And let's actually handle errors here. Well, failed. I'm gonna return the thing. That's why he's mustard sensei. I haven't seen this one. And you don't just focus on a certain type of game to learn. The more you do different things, the more you cover a wider area of information. Well, that's true. But for example, if you don't want to ever make, if you don't want to make a 3D game, that's fine, right? But most of the time you will have to deal with at least a little bit of 2D, and UI is going to be everywhere anyway. Unless you want to make a specific game which is a UI-less game, which is something, definitely. Alright, so let's make more states. We're gonna have combat, and I think, yeah. Do I have Excalibur here? Yes. No. No. Let me download this. Community plugins. Excalibur install. Wow, it is white. Please. No. My eyes. Excalibur. Wait, is this settings? Where are the settings? Options, theme, appearance and behavior. Theme and styling. Yeah, let's go with that. Should be fine. No? Alright, there we go. So the thing is that we have the idle state. That's for sure. And then from there we could have the so I don't think we will have a combat state, but we have probably the waiting cooldown, I would say. I don't know. Wind up. Nah. Let's have an enemy selection. Right, so we select an enemy. Then we have a wind up. Then we have an attack. Okay. And eventually this will end into handling the rewards, like getting rewards. Okay. So here are the different states where we'll be like navigating between. So how do I create a ropes like this? All right, and from there we want to create the connections to say what state can go where, right? So for example, when you're idle, the only one thing you can do is to go to an enemy selection. Then once you have your enemy, you go to the wind up, and then you go to the attack, and then you go to the getting rewards, or you go to the wind up again. If that makes sense, right? As in, based on the attack, either you beat the opponent and you get the rewards, or you go back to wind up. But you can also fall down, which goes back to idle. So this getting reward will send you back to the enemy selection, alright? Okay. And we are actually allowing the player to always go back to idle and enemy selection. Well, the thing is that we will actually not allow attack to go to idle state. We want attack to have like controlled script, like attack and getting rewards. This is the kind of things that will happen in a frame, sort of, so that the player doesn't interact at this point. And same thing here, enemy selection. Right, so we basically want the player to choose when he's winding up. At this point they can leave the combat, but otherwise the combat is locked. Okay, so here we were creating change state method, invoke interstate, etc, etc. Cool. So now we have the list of states we want to make. Let's actually... I can bring this That's a little bit messy. Yeah, that's terrible. Let's not do that. That's unreadable. Yeah, let's not do that. I'll put that on the side. So you say, I would say 3D games with mid-quality graphics. Wait, what did I do? Oh, that's probably you two who's sad because I'm not here. You say I'm a 3D designer, so I am familiar with 3D game objects and textures. I'm not aiming to create AAA games, no one wants to do that, don't do that. My aim is to make a 3D mid-graph indie game. Honestly, I just want to share something with you right now. Which is a game I have seen a few days ago. And to quickly answer the question, when will we be able to play this game? I don't know. It's actually not really my game. I'm letting Alfian manage the project here. I'm pretty much acting as a programmer on this project. So let me find the game I've seen recently, which inspired me a lot. Okay, so there's gonna be a voice. I will just mute it real quick. Alright, so here it is. So you may realize that this is very similar to what I did in my recent streams with the hexagon map, right? And basically what she's doing is creating a kind of city builder with those little hex grid right there. And it is very simple graphics. Like I think it is easy to model. And it's still very cool, right? Even with low polygon, you can make super cool things. So yeah, I think that's the kind of thing I will be aiming to do. I started 3D modeling, but I'm like very early skills in that domain, right? I can't do much yet. I just trained a little bit. And I'm focusing on this project right now, so I'm not 3D modeling anymore. So anyway, we have to create a hand of states. All right. So we have enemy selection. State enemy selection. Combat state enemy selection. And what you want to do basically here is have this kind of copy paste things, right? Just to make sure that you don't mistype. Oh, there's one thing. Okay, one thing. C# handles inheritance very well. While here, for example, in Godot, it's a little bit fuzzy when you are rewriting a virtual method from a previous type. You don't have the auto-completion. So that's mean. So maybe it is a question of... Wait a second. Now that I'm thinking about it. So I'm gonna save this. Yeah, it doesn't work. So that's a problem in my opinion. It's a major problem. well, you kind of fix this by copy pasting. Oh, there's something also which I've seen recently, which was kind of inspiring, and that was diplomacy is not an option. Yeah, this game. I think it's a very cool thing to do. Like, the graphics look very simple. Like, it's low polygons. I mean, can we see the units? Right? Like, they're very simple, right? So, in my opinion, it's very cool. It looks very neat. So yeah. So basically, of course, this game is kind of created to make a mess by having billions of units. But yeah, anyway. So second state, enemy selection. Then we have wind up, attack, and getting rewards. Let's create the nodes at the same time. Technically, I think we could have a move state. Yeah, like, can I bring this back? So here, I'm gonna have like a move state, okay, and we'll go this way. First we move, and then the enemy selection is gonna be kind of automatic. Yes, no, this arrow is fine. Like this. Right. Better. So that you can choose when you want to move. Enemy selection state, get the script. Okay, new script. State, move. Combat state, move. Oopsie. Okay. Create a new node this way. Node wind up. So we add a script. State wind up. All right. New one. Attack. Attach a script. And last one, reward state. It's gonna be good. Right, reward state, bash script. That's the last one. So it's a little bit tedious, right? But there's a reason for this. On the long run, it makes it much easier. Alright, so we have all the states, so now it is a question of listing the states. Oh yeah, state move. And they are all combat states, right? Next. State enemy selection. Oh, do you want to know something funny? We have a kind of government propaganda in France to quit X right now. So they are kind of trying to have people to quit X by providing the loading credentials to a kind of software or program you subscribe to. You give your username and password, and they create new accounts on Blue Sky and Mastodon for you. Like, this is the... I don't know. This is the least safe thing ever. Okay, one last and we're done. Okay. So we have all the states. Alright. We have this kind of function state method. Okay, cool. And yeah, ready. We change the state to idle. Alright. So now, let's see this thing there. How can I do that? Idle states. Can switch to. So idle state can go to move. Yeah, pretty much. So if state is combat state move, return true, otherwise we're gonna return false. Okay, next one. Move state. So if state is equal to, well, not, sorry. If it is combat state. Oh, we can do this differently. Wait a second. Yeah, I'm gonna do that differently. So if state is equal to context dot state enemy selection. Yeah, that's how you do that. I remember now. If it is enemy selection, return true, else otherwise return false. Okay, let's fix the first one. State move, return true. Okay, so where was I actually in the tutorial? Create change state method, yep. Did we initialize? Yes. So we create each state, all the necessary states. And 7. Well, that's kind of optional here. Bind the... Define the state paths. Do you add an E here? No, you don't. The move state enemy. Okay, so we can go to wind up. So it's equal to context state wind up. Otherwise false. Wind up then. We have a few states here. We can go to move, attack, and idle state, right? So if state is equal to context state move, or or we could make an array. No, that would be too much. So we can go to idle, move, or attack. Okay, any of those? Is it true? Otherwise, is it false? Attack can go to getting rewards or wind up. Okay, so we have connected. Oh no, we still have to have this one. So reward can go to enemy selected. Let's see. Okay, so we have connected we have made the paths. And that's pretty much it. Now it's just a question of connecting the things. What's the purpose of state move? To make the difference between different areas with different enemies. It's basically changing the area. Did you see the graph, or do you want me to show it again? And by the way, the graph, maybe I could like, anyway, take a picture and put it on Discord. Okay, grabbing the chat, and let's see. Oopsie. Just wanted to move. We could think about making the enemies right now and the player. We could have the player... We're gonna have the player here. So this is for the state. We're gonna make some space. Wait, anyway, we're gonna keep track of the player's statistics in the game data. So, okay, what do we have? Alright, let's create a new script. Create new data combats. Okay, so first we have, for example, player health. Damages are integers, right? I guess that should do equip a sword. Health is integer, yes, right. Now that you think about it, we could have, I mean, you say that, reminds me. That it has a current health. Equipped sword. And that's gonna be all at the moment. Player damage? No, that's the sword. Unless you want the player to have skills or upgrades which increase the player damage, but yeah, that will be calculated. That's just the data, right? That's just what we save on the disk. Let's see. In this combat state manager, we could have an opponent, like variable enemy, and at the moment it's gonna be a boolean because I have nothing else. And that could be a resource, right? Okay, let's create an enemy resource. Maybe defense? We have nothing to increase the defense, so... Yeah, that's right. That's exactly this. Maybe later, in the sense that right now we just want to have the MVP. Create an enemy resource. Let's go with the enemy resource. Alright, what's in there? Oh, you made a list actually. The name. Max HP. Well, health. Around health. And resources they drop, so at the moment we will not take care of that. Do we create a database for enemies? Probably. Okay. Okay, so we have the static variable dictionary, and we need to create an initialize data in dictionary. So if dictionary size superior to 0, boo, failed. Right, so we have a variable enemy. Let's create a first one. So the name, well, let's start with the key. Yes, we need the key. Okay, so we're doing a zombie. And they need damage, actually. Are the damages random, like a vector 2? Or are they fixed? I think a vector 2i could be cool. Let's make random. It is a gambling game after all. Okay. So the dictionary of enemy.key equal enemy. Let's go. Let's create a second one. Let's create a skeleton. As you can see, I have a lot of influences. That's they are less tanky, but they do hit hard. Boom. Yeah. So we have enemies now. Do we initialize the game data player health? That could be interesting. Well, let's go with 25. We can't equip a sword right now, so that's a little bit of a problem. That's fine, we're gonna use default damage. We're gonna ignore the sword at the moment. Okay. So let's start with the enemy selection. Generate or choose enemy. So you say, I learned pin joint nodes. Not hard at all. You thought making chains would be harder. Pin joint nodes. What is that? I don't know what it is. The context text.enemy. Well, let's actually generate an enemy first. Variable enemy. Can we pick random in a dictionary? No, sadly no. Okay. Generate enemy. So from 1 to enemy okay, let's go 1 to 0 1 create an enemy. If row enemy is equal enemy dictionary enemy enum zombie dot duplicate, else we duplicate a skeleton. You say that pin joint nodes is basically a node that connects two nodes, like superglue. And those two nodes have rigid body 2D or 3D, what you need. Okay. Oh, okay, so it's basically assembling rigid body 2Ds together. Okay. I never used something with a different rigid body. Interesting. So you could like attach thing and deattach thing with this. So context dot enemy is going to be equal to enemy. Okay, so here we generate the enemy. And after this, we change the state, right? So context, change state, and we go to wind up. So context dot state wind up. That's how we change state. I'm gonna change something in the abstract, right? I'm gonna make on ready. I'm gonna make it so that context is equal to get parent. So enemy selection, please. We're gonna say that here we have a new enemy. New enemy selected. I'm gonna add the name. Context, wait. Context.enemy.name. And Rio says hi. And hi, I don't think I know you actually, so it's probably a welcome. Nice to meet you, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, hi. Oh, you were on Quibbles? Well, no. Cubal stream. Okay. Oh, yeah, maybe we did talk. Because I did answer questions and stuff, but it didn't really check the names. So right now, moving will do nothing. Not gonna lie. But yeah, enemy selection, just forgot. Enter state, generate enemy, and it will automatically move. Move state at the moment, yeah. Enter state, context, change state, and we're gonna go to the state enemy selection. Wind up, could use a timer here. Yeah, let's use a timer just for the sake of saying that we're using Godot. Oh, there's a new thing here, ignore timescale. Oh, I didn't know there's this thing. Engine timescale. So it's gonna be 1 second, one shot. Yep. Right. So let's connect this signal right now. We're gonna grab this timer and wait for it to run out before we move to the next state, which is attack. This timer. Okay, so first enter state, we probably want to stop this here. Just to make sure, like... we could have this, I don't know if start resets it. Start the timer, or resets the timer. Yes, it resets. Okay, so this way, it should be automatic as well. So attack state, right, here. They're gonna have you choose attacker. Okay, so if the roll is inferior to number 2, we will have enemy attack or player attack. I think that's what you want. Okay. So enemy attack. So the player current health is decreased by a context.enemy. Well, it's actually a random range of the context enemy, damage X and Y. Yep. And as for the player attack, I don't know, at the moment I will just have a fixed damage. Oh, that's wrong though. Let's see. Enemy. Well, context. Context enemy. Current health. Minus equal. At the moment we will do 5 damages. Yep. So now let's check the health, like check enemy health. And check player health. So this is where we will see if we did knockout, one of the two. Okay, so either health is 0. Do reset it to 0 just to be sure. And we move to idle. So context. We change to context dot idle. Well, is that even possible? Or did I not allow this? Yes. I need to add this line as well. So here, attack can go to idle state if the player is knocked out. Kinda forgot about this. Reward winds up, or state is equal to context dot idle. Let's go. Alright, so we check. Alright, so I actually confused the two. That's fine. Check enemy health. If context dot enemy current health inferior equals 0. And there we change context, change states. To enemy selection, right? This seems correct. Okay, so I think now we just need to create a few buttons to test this. And the game should be rolling. I don't know. I hope so. Because I've done a lot of script and I don't know. Yeah, so we're gonna have debug here. Let's create a new V-box. Like combat. So let's go to combat, maybe, and see what happens when we connect this. Oh, hi. How you doing, Nipple? Nipple. I have to pronounce this correctly, or this could sound... It could end badly. What are you up to? Nep. Yeah, Nep's gonna be easier. It's gonna be easier for me. Okay, so first let's bring the new singleton in there. Combat singleton. You're surviving this 3-degree wither? Oh. Yeah. Space heaters are a godsend. Of course they are. Well, it's been a little bit cold around here as well. We had ice on the asphalt? I don't know. I will initialize the enemy database. It's not saved? Oh, is it? Wait a second. Well, hey, you big mean. What the? Is Godot tripping or something? Oh, is it just not static? It's me tripping. Correct. Phew. I prefer this. Where are you? Well, I mean, in what country or something to be in a cold weather right now? I can say that I'm in the upper side of France. Oh, you're in New York. New York. All right. I think there's a snow in there sometimes. We don't have snow that much. We have ice, but not snow. So what happens when we move? Well, it goes to enemy selection. So maybe we can try this. We can try to have this button. State move. Okay, let's go. If this works... Oh wait, I have no prints. I will make a few prints. And then we will see, but if this works, that's amazing. Alright, so print enemy health, context enemy current health, print player health, context, no. Combat current health. Okay. I'm a little bit worried. Not gonna lie. Yes. So name on base object null. Enemy is enemy. It's null. Why is it null? Oh, because that's a little bit sad. Okay, so entering attack state doesn't do anything, that's fine. Choose attacker. And that should be rolling now. Am I in front of it? Yes. Oh, what am I moving? Alright. So we are entering attack state, but doesn't seem to do much. Why? We choose the attacker. We roll enemy or player attack. Oh, that's because we don't check health. Check enemy health and check player health. That's because the chat is not paying attention to fix my errors. This is a terrible situation. And actually, here we should be context, changing the state to context wind up. Oh, we have a debug. State is never used. Well, that's an abstract. Why do you care? Of course it's never used. Yeah, that's the problem with Godot. It's not very good with abstracts. Whoa, it's going so fast. What's happening? This is so weird. Okay, let's pause this and read the logs. There's a lot happening in there. Alright. Move state, enemy selection, new enemy selected without a name, interesting. The enemy in depth isn't it, right? Player health 25. We exit attack. Enter wind up. Exit wind up. Enemy health is -5. It looks like the enemy is empty. This is so weird. Enemy selection. Because here you're supposed to say the name of the enemy. So is it because of the database being wrong? I don't think so. Because if I start the game and check my database, I can't. I can't check the database. That's a little bit sad. Ah. Yeah, new enemy selected and no name. It's attacking the player a lot, which is probably inverted right there. That's weird. Is it because of the duplicate? Isn't duplicate supposed to just give like the exact same thing? Let's see the attack. Attack, choose attacker. No, it's correct, right? Like we have 2 out of 10, 0 and 1, which are enemy attack, and 2 to 9, which are player attack, so that's correct. enemy selection. The enemy is equal to a duplicate, returning a new resource with its exported resource. Why only the exported? Why? I don't understand. Why would I export these things? I mean, I can, but... Well, let's do this then. But there was another problem, the enemy depth. Okay, we have a zombie. And here, for some reasons, we have like... Okay, is the game stuck? Whoa, what's happening? Yeah, that's pretty much why I don't like using timers. I'm gonna avoid a timer just for... We're gonna have progress. An enter state, progress equals 0. On process, progress improved by delta. Progress is superior to 1. We change the states. Just to be sure, progress equals 0, 0 to avoid weird things. I'm gonna change the prints a little bit. Little error. Otherwise, print Player defeated. Maybe I could use colors. You have to go. You will admire this battle mode tomorrow. Yes, I don't think there will be much to admire. But yeah, have a good whatever. So let's move this as well. And say that the enemy is defeated. Oh, wait a second. Is this inverted? Check enemy health, and here check player health. I may have inverted this too. Okay, let's rerun this. That would explain why it was weird. But you're supposed to create a new enemy. What are you doing? Is this because you can't go to enemy selection? Oh yeah, that's why. Because you need to go to reward. Yes. And player defeated. Alright, debugger. Entering reward state. Cool. Oh, let's... Okay, there's a problem here. We need to return. But anyway, I think the reward state did nothing anyway. Yes, entering state. Context. And state to context. Enemy selection. And there we go. I'll be right back a few seconds while it is running. Alright, so let's see what happened. Maybe we could add another print. When we have a new enemy. I can change the color, I mean. Alright, let's see. But it looks like it's fine. Oh, I think I colored the wrong one. Yes. A little bit sad. Oh, hi Fluffy, how you doing? Better, nice, that's cool. What about here? Pretty chill. I'm tired, but that's all. I was about to be near the end, I guess. I've been battling with this state script. Now it's working. Yes. Player defeated? Yikes. Who proved me you're really disabled though? Oh yeah, because I forgot to turn on the camera. Oh, and you got the jump scare. Forgot to turn on the camera when I got back. Because I was like AFK like 2 minutes ago. And you have the jump scare as well. Well, okay, maybe it's just the console, which is a little bit buggy. No, here, this skeleton, for some reasons, it was super slow. Maybe it's just me. Right here. Why is it waiting 10 years? Okay, that's just because the enemy is one shot. That's why. So I think that's gonna be enough for the early prototype. Except that for some reasons... Oh yes, maybe because I don't close it as we should close it. Alright, so... Yeah, I'm actually very tired. I think there will be... I'm very close to the end of the stream right now. I don't have something specific to do after this. Oh yes. A combat log? Yes, but we have no UI for the combat log anyway. Nap says understandable. Yeah, it's like I've changed my sleeping schedule recently, like in the brutal way. In order to get like to the normal human schedule, I had the no sleep night, and since then it's been complicated. The rising time then? Oh no. When I say I'm cooked, I'm done. It's not this kind of tired. I'm not used to wake up this early. I'm a night person. I don't know why I did this. And the music's gone because YouTube thinks that I'm gone. But I'm not, you mean. Keeping it real, whenever I change my sleeping schedule, migraines follow. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that happening. First time hearing sound in your project that got incremental. Yeah. Well, that's Elfion's magic here. Like, I'm not really part of this. Like, have you seen the crafting? Like, this is cool part. If you've never seen it, like, and there you have a sword. But honestly, I've pretty much only touched the script. Like, these animations, they're so big, I don't even want to start exploring. Now, honestly, the best part is like when you have faster craft. Like, it can get so good. So I have to do this manually because we don't really have kind of things yet. But yeah, when we're testing Switch, sometimes we just spit things and it's like we just have to change the wind up as well. Then you have the sword crafting. I don't think I've had the genuine true masterwork yet. The button clicking sound seems a little bit intense to me. Yes, it is a little bit. I mean, the name of the sound is Massive Button, if I remember correctly. It's hard to create the perfect sword. Because what are the stats right now? Yeah, no masterwork, 24 swords. That's like button critical hit sound worthy? Yes. I don't know the odds for a perfect sword, but I think it's less than 1%. And even perfect sword is like... It's kind of a lie because you can have random... I mean, the real perfect sword is like... you will not get it. Because you need the 4 parts to be the good one and the rolls on the parts to be the best. So let's say it doesn't happen. So anyway, I can go back to my place right there. Now that we don't need the debug. So what is the best sword so far? Really? 645? That's not the best. For some reasons, the last time I did testings, like the 800 swords, they were floating. So yeah. Yeah, I think that will be the end. Like, we have 2 hours stream, that's cool. We did the combats. state machine. We did an empty task. Woo! Yep. And tomorrow there's the new champion on League of Legends who is released, I believe. So I will have to test this. Yeah. So anyway, kind of out of ideas now. So I will leave you with the music for a little while, just before I end this, not to be too brutal. And I'll see you in something different. So anyway, thank you guys for being here in the chat and hanging with me around, helping me handle this. And yeah, I will see you maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. I actually missed the end of the music. Yeah, thank you for the 5-minute stream. Yes, that's on you. Well, that's the thing. I've started the streams a little bit earlier these days. So yeah, I will start streams a little bit earlier than usual. And try to not end them too early. So yeah, anyway. I'll be out.